Heartland Season 19, Episode 2 picks up right where the emotional storm of Episode 1 left us. The fire may have been contained, but the flames it left behind are far from over. The Fleming family is still reeling from the chaos, the smoke, the fear, and the reality that their world can change in an instant. Amy, still shaken but trying to stay strong, has thrown herself into taking care of Lindy, trying to make up for the time she lost chasing balance between motherhood and love. Lindy, however, hasn't forgotten. She's distant, quiet, and even though Amy tries her best to smile, the guilt lingers in her eyes. That little girl saw her mother run into the fire, and now she's afraid she could lose her too, just like her father. It's painful, raw, and painfully real. And just when Amy starts to believe she's getting through to her daughter, a new storm begins to form. This time, it's not made of fire, but betrayal. At first, everything seems fine. Nathan, as calm and kind as ever, is helping at the ranch, trying to prove he belongs, not just as Amy's partner, but as part of the Heartland family. Even Jack, who was skeptical at first, starts to warm up to him after seeing how deeply he cares for Amy and how responsibly he steps up during the recovery. But not everyone is convinced. Lou, ever the realist, keeps a close eye on the situation. Something about Nathan's sister and their business connection to the ranch's new partnership doesn't sit right with her. When Lou overhears a conversation between Nathan and his sister, her suspicions grow stronger. It's not just about romance anymore. It's about trust, money, and the legacy of Heartland itself. And then it happens. A confidential ranch deal that Lou had been working on suddenly falls apart overnight. A new bidder swoops in, offering the same terms Lou was negotiating, but with insider knowledge that only a few people could have known. The shock hits her hard. Who leaked the details? Who betrayed the family's trust? All fingers point to one name, Nathan. Lou's anger flares immediately, and she's convinced Nathan and his sister have been using Amy to get closer to the ranch's business dealings. Her confrontation is sharp and unforgiving, and in true Lou fashion, she doesn't hold back. She storms into the barn where Amy and Nathan are tending to the horses and drops the accusation like a bombshell. Amy is stunned. For a moment, she can't even process what Lou is saying. Nathan's eyes widen with disbelief, but he doesn't lash out. He stays quiet. Almost too quiet. That silence makes everything worse. Amy's heart begins to race, memories of every moment they shared flashing in her mind. Was all of it real? The dinners, the confessions, the promises? Or was she being played all along? Lou's words cut deep, not just because they accuse Nathan, but because they plant a seed of doubt Amy can't shake off. Later that night, Amy sits alone on the porch, staring into the darkness that once burned with fire and now feels colder than ever. Lindy is asleep, holding that same photograph of her late father, and Amy's thoughts wander. Ty never lied to her. He was always honest, even when the truth hurt. But now she wonders if she's repeating old mistakes, trusting someone too easily, letting her heart lead her into danger again. The way Nathan avoided her gaze when Lou confronted him keeps replaying in her mind. That single moment of hesitation feels heavier than all the love they've shared. And this is where the real conflict begins, because Amy isn't just fighting for her relationship anymore. She's fighting for her family's legacy, her daughter's trust, and her own peace of mind. The fire outside might be gone, but inside, something far more dangerous has started to burn. Episode 2 will push Amy to question everything. Her choices, her instincts, and the man she thought she knew. The line between love and betrayal has never been thinner at Heartland. The morning after Lou's accusation feels heavy. Heartland isn't its usual warm, bustling home. It feels colder, quieter, like everyone's walking on eggshells. Amy barely slept. She keeps replaying that moment in the barn when Nathan didn't defend himself right away. That silence still echoes in her head. She wants to believe in him. She really does. But when the person you love stands quiet against betrayal, it cuts deeper than words. She pours herself some coffee, staring out at the horizon, trying to find comfort in the sunrise. But peace doesn't come. Lou walks in, papers in hand, and her face says it all. The situation just got worse. Apparently, the ranch partnership that was supposed to bring stability after the fires has now completely fallen apart. Not only that, but the rival bidder who swooped in seems to know every detail of Heartland's financial struggles. Meanwhile, Nathan arrives at the ranch later that morning, looking tense but determined. He wants to explain, to fix what's broken before it spirals beyond repair. Amy meets him outside, arms crossed, the pain clear in her eyes. She asks him directly, did he know his sister was involved in the deal? Nathan hesitates. Not for long, but long enough for the damage to settle in. He admits that his sister was aware of some of the details because she asked him questions about the ranch's recovery after the fires, but he insists he never shared confidential information. Amy, I swear to you, I didn't betray you. I didn't betray this place. His words are steady, but Amy can't ignore how her instincts twist uncomfortably inside her. It's not that she doesn't believe him, it's that she's afraid to. Heartland has taught her that love doesn't always protect you from pain. Sometimes it's the very thing that brings it. She looks at him, searching for truth in his eyes, but all she finds is conflict, the same kind of silent guilt she's seen before in people torn between family and love. Nathan's sister is family to him, and Amy knows he won't turn against her easily, even if it means losing trust with the Flemings. Then comes the twist that no one sees coming. Jack receives a call from a supplier who's furious about a missing shipment that was supposed to go to Heartland's partner. The documents show Nathan's signature authorizing the transfer, a signature that ties him directly to the mess Lou warned about. Amy's world tilts again. Nathan insists it's a misunderstanding, that he didn't sign anything like that someone must have forged it. But how do you prove innocence when the evidence has your name all over it? As tension rises, Heartland becomes a battlefield of whispers and side glances. Lou refuses to let it go. She's already talking about pulling the plug on all business connections with Nathan's family. Jack tries to calm things down, reminding everyone that Heartland has survived worse, but even he can't deny that things don't add up. Amy, caught in the middle, feels herself crumbling under the weight of it all. One part of her wants to fight for Nathan, to stand by him like he stood by her during the fire. The other part wants to protect her daughter and her family from another heartbreak. Later that day, Amy takes Lindy to the stables, hoping a quiet moment with the horses might bring her clarity. Lindy, ever observant, asks softly, "Mom, are you sad again?" That question breaks Amy's fragile calm. She kneels down, brushing Lindy's hair from her face, and whispers, "Sometimes people make mistakes, honey. Sometimes we don't know who to trust." Lindy frowns, holding that same photo of her dad she's been carrying since the fire. "Dad never lied," she says innocently, and those words hit Amy harder than any accusation ever could. She realizes her daughter is watching every move she makes, how she loves, how she forgives, how she handles pain. Amy can't afford to lose herself in confusion again. That night, as the rain starts to fall outside, Amy makes a quiet decision. She can't ignore the signs anymore. She needs to know the truth. Not from Lou, not from rumors, but from Nathan himself. Whether he's guilty or not, she deserves honesty. And if that honesty shatters her heart again, so be it. Because the one thing Amy Fleming has learned over the years is that heartbreak doesn't destroy you. It reveals who's really worth fighting for. But here's where things get even darker. As Amy prepares to confront Nathan once more, we see Nathan on the phone with his sister, his tone low, urgent, and filled with panic. "You told me it was under control," he says, his voice trembling. "Now everything's falling apart." His sister's reply is muffled, but one word stands out clear as day: Amy. And just like that, the tension skyrockets. Is Nathan protecting Amy, or protecting his sister from her? Episode 2 is about to pull the rug from under everyone, and the truth might hurt more than anyone is ready for. The rain didn't stop that night, and neither did Amy's thoughts. Every drop hitting the window seemed to echo the same question over and over again. What if Lou was right? Sleep was impossible. She lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her heart torn between trust and fear. By the time dawn touched the hills of Heartland, Amy had made up her mind. She would confront Nathan face to face, not with anger, but with the truth she needed to hear, whatever it was. She finds him early in the morning near the paddocks, drenched in rain, as if he hadn't gone home either. His clothes are muddy, his eyes tired, and yet there's something off about him, a nervousness he can't quite hide. Amy doesn't waste time. "Nathan," she says softly but firmly, "I need to know everything. No excuses, no half-truths. Did you have anything to do with your sister's business deal?" For a heartbeat, he says nothing. Then he looks at her with that same deep, conflicted gaze that once made her feel safe. Only this time, it makes her feel lost. "I never meant for any of this to happen," he finally says, voice shaking. My sister told me the partnership would help both families. She said Lou would benefit too. I didn't think she'd use what I told her against Heartland. Amy's heart sinks. It's not a confession of guilt, but it's not innocence either. She takes a step back, every emotion colliding inside her. Love, disappointment, confusion. So, you did tell her something? She says, barely above a whisper. Nathan swallows hard, guilt flickering across his face. I just wanted to help, he says quietly. I didn't think she'd twist it. And that's when Amy realizes it's not just betrayal by intention, it's betrayal by trust. He didn't mean to hurt her, but he did. And now, the damage can't be undone. Her silence speaks louder than any accusation. Nathan tries to reach for her hand, but she steps back. For the first time, she doesn't feel safe in his presence. Not because he's dangerous, but because her heart can't take another scar. Lou arrives not long after, and her fury hasn't faded. When she spots Nathan, her expression hardens instantly. You need to leave, she says, her tone sharp, final. Amy tries to calm her, but Lou's patience has run out. You let him in, Amy. You trusted him, and now we're paying the price. Her words slice through the air like a cold wind. Nathan tries to speak up, insisting that he's trying to fix the situation, that he never meant to cause harm, but Lou won't listen. You can't fix what's broken if you were the one who cracked it, she says bitterly before turning away. Jack steps in, his steady voice trying to ground the chaos. Enough, he says. Heartland's been through worse, but yelling won't fix this either. He turns to Nathan, his gaze heavy. If you care about Amy, prove it. Don't talk. Act. Find the truth. Show us who really did this. Nathan nods, and for a moment, there's a flicker of hope, a chance that he might redeem himself. But redemption doesn't come easy in Heartland. Later that afternoon, while Amy is working in the barn, Nathan's sister shows up unexpectedly. Her arrival sends shockwaves through everyone. She looks unapologetic, confident, almost smug. I didn't mean to cause trouble, she says, though her tone betrays no real remorse. Lou confronts her immediately, demanding answers about the leaked deal. The woman smirks slightly and says, Business is business, Lou. You should know that better than anyone. That single line ignites Lou's temper, and Jack has to step between them before it turns into a shouting match. Amy stands silently, watching the woman who may have ruined her trust in Nathan. When their eyes meet, there's a moment of quiet tension. You broke my family's trust, Amy says softly, but her voice trembles with emotion. You didn't just hurt me. You hurt everyone here. The sister looks momentarily uncomfortable, but before she can reply, Nathan walks in. His face drains of color when he sees her. You shouldn't be here, he says sharply. You've done enough. His sister tries to defend herself, saying she was only looking out for their family. But Nathan snaps, something we haven't seen from him before. At what cost? He yells. You've destroyed everything I care about. It's a moment that catches everyone off guard, especially Amy. For the first time, she sees Nathan not as the calm, composed man she fell for, but as someone breaking under pressure. His voice cracks, his emotions raw and unfiltered. The sister storms off, leaving him standing in the rain-soaked doorway, shaking with rage and regret. Amy wants to go to him, to comfort him, but something holds her back. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's pride, or maybe it's the simple truth that love without trust can't survive. The next day dawns with heavy clouds looming over Heartland, the kind that warn of an oncoming storm, not just in the skies, but in everyone's hearts. The atmosphere around the ranch feels uneasy, as if even the animals can sense that something isn't right. Amy wakes up early again, exhaustion etched across her face. She can't get Nathan's words, "I never meant for any of this to happen," out of her head. The tone, the hesitation, the way he looked at her. It all replays endlessly. But what haunts her most is the mystery phone call. Who was he talking to? What was worse than she thought? And why did it sound like someone else was involved? Lou, meanwhile, is done with waiting. She's Heartland's protector, and when something threatens her family, she fights back hard. She starts digging into Nathan's sister's business connections. What she finds makes her blood run cold. The rival bidder who ruined their deal is tied to an old company that once tried to buy out a large portion of Heartland's land years ago, a company that was stopped only because of Jack's quick action. But this time, they came prepared, using a new name, a new face, and Nathan's sister as their insider. It's not just betrayal anymore, it's manipulation. Lou realizes that Nathan might have been used too, and that terrifies her even more. Because if that's true, Amy is right in the middle of something much bigger than a broken heart. Lou rushes to tell Amy, but by the time she finds her, Amy is already on her way to see Nathan. Amy's heart can't handle another day of uncertainty. She drives to Nathan's small house outside Hudson, determined to look him in the eye and find out everything. When she arrives, the sight that greets her sends a chill down her spine. Nathan's truck is parked outside, engine still warm, but the front door is slightly open. Inside, the place is a mess. Papers scattered, a chair knocked over, and the faint sound of a phone vibrating under the table. Amy's pulse quickens. She calls out his name, but there's no answer. Her eyes dart to the phone screen. One missed call from an unknown number, and one message notification that simply reads, "It's too late." For a moment, Amy stands frozen, her breath shallow. She doesn't know what's happening. If Nathan's in danger, if he's running, or if he's been lying all along. Then she spots something on the table. A document with Heartland's name on it and Nathan's handwriting scrawled across the margins. It's a list of ranch properties and partnership details, some of which Amy recognizes. But what stops her cold is the handwritten note beside one name, "Protect Amy and Lindy." Her heart clenches. It doesn't make sense. If he was guilty, why would he be trying to protect her? Before she can think further, Lou calls, her voice urgent. "Amy, where are you?" Amy tells her about the mess, about the message, about what she found. Lou's tone hardens. "Get out of there, Amy." Now Amy hesitates. "Lou, I think he's in trouble." But Lou doesn't back down. "Trouble or not, you don't know what you're walking into. Please, just get home." Reluctantly, Amy agrees, but her instincts tell her there's more to this than anyone realizes. When Amy returns to Heartland, she finds Jack waiting for her at the porch. He can tell something's wrong just by looking at her. She hands him the paper she found. Jack studies it, his brow furrowing deeper with every word. "This isn't just business," he mutters. "Someone's playing a dangerous game." He looks up at Amy, his expression serious. "You need to stay out of this for now. Let Lou handle the digging." But Amy shakes her head. "No, Grandpa. If Nathan's being framed, I can't just sit here and do nothing. He might have made mistakes, but I know he wouldn't hurt me or Heartland on purpose." Lou arrives soon after, frustrated but focused. "Jack, I found something," she says, holding her tablet. Nathan's sister didn't act alone. She's connected to someone named Charles Avery. And guess what? He used to work with that same land company years ago. He's the one pulling the strings. Amy's face pales. "Charles Avery. I've heard that name." Lou nods grimly. He was the investor who wanted to buy Ty's old rehabilitation center project land years ago, the one Amy refused to sell. Suddenly, everything clicks. Amy realizes Nathan's sister might have been manipulated through Avery's promises, and that Nathan's involvement was probably to protect Amy from being dragged into another land war. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe our channel MELDMEDIA for more Heartland updates. Thanks!